My child, can you give me 1 minute before you close your eyes? Stop right here. Don't rush. Don't scroll. Don't slip away from this moment the way you have so many nights in a row. Breathe with me for just this breath, just this minute, just this heart's beat. I am stepping into your evening, into your thoughts, into the very air of your room now, not to startle you, but to steady you. Not because I demand it, but because something you have been praying for is close, closer than you realize, and I do not want you to carry the wrong weight into tomorrow. This moment is not random, it is not accidental, it is arranged. I placed it on the timeline of your life, right here before sleep, like a soft hand on your shoulder, like a light left on for you when you thought you'd return to a dark house. I aligned this interruption with your tiredness, with your questions, with the way your mind tries to race when your body tries to rest. I am here to hush the world around you, to quiet the noise inside you, to prepare your spirit for what dawn will require. Listen, tomorrow will ask for strength. Tomorrow will need your clarity. Tomorrow will call for peace, not the hurried kind, not the pretend kind, but a steady peace that can hold you when answers are still forming. And that is why I am here now, before the night closes, to ask you gently and firmly, do not carry this into tomorrow. Do not take that weight under your pillow. Do not knot it into your breath. Do not baptize your sleep in yesterday's storm. I am not scolding you. I am not here with condemnation. I am here with protection, with care, with a covering that says, rest, my child, I'll hold watch. I saw the tiredness in your eyes as the day faded. I felt the heaviness on your chest when you lay down and stared into the dim. I am not asking you to fix everything. I am asking you to open your hand. Just for this minute, let me be the one who holds the part that keeps pricking you awake. Stop and be still. Let your shoulders soften. Let your jaw unclench. Let your breath lengthen, slowly in, slowly out, like waves I command. Give me your attention, your worry, your need to keep thinking until something changes. Give me this minute and trust me with this night. You are not meant to haul today's burden across the threshold of tomorrow. You are meant to cross lightly, aligned, ready. So here is my promise as you pause. I am not controlling you. I am guarding you. I am not taking from you. I am lifting what was never meant to sleep beside you. If you let me interrupt you now, peace will interrupt your fears. If you let me hold this minute, rest will hold your sleep. And when morning meets you, you will not be scrambling for yourself. You will be standing with me. My child, since you have paused with me, let me tell you what I have seen when the noises faded and the light in your room dimmed. After everyone went quiet, when you turned your face toward the dark and your mind lit up like a city at midnight, I saw the heaviness you kept carefully tucked behind your smile. I saw the smile you pushed to the surface so others would be comfortable, while your jaw ached from the effort. I saw your thoughts race in circles, the way you rehearsed the day and the words and the looks, the way your chest tightened as if a hand pressed down, the way your breath thinned when the what-ifs gathered. I saw the silent tears that warmed your pillow and then disappeared, leaving you wondering if even your sorrow goes unnoticed. It does not. I noticed. I saw it all. I saw how you kept moving so you wouldn't feel. You cleaned what didn't need cleaning. You worked past the point of useful. You helped everyone else so you wouldn't have to admit you needed help too. You scrolled because silence felt sharp. You numbed with busyness. You distracted with lists. You stayed busy because slowing down meant meeting the ache. I am not here to shame you for surviving. You were doing what you knew to keep your heart from shattering in your hands. You were not rejecting me. You were protecting yourself the best way you could. And I understand the child who learned to carry too much. But hear me. You are not just body tired. You are soul tired. You are not only mentally drained. You are spiritually worn from bracing all day, worn from managing the room, worn from making peace where none could be made. You have carried an inner script like a law carved into stone. If I don't hold it together, everything will fall apart. That script kept you alert, but it also stole your rest. It made every quiet moment a meeting you had to attend, every bedtime a project you had to finish, every breath a checklist you had to complete. It made you the guard, the planner, the fixer, even in your sleep, and that is why your mornings have felt like you ran through the night. I was there in every moment you thought no one noticed. I was beside you in the car when you leaned your head against the wheel and whispered nothing because words felt heavy. I was with you in the shower when the water hid your tears. I was near when the message went unanswered and your heart tried to make sense of the silence. I counted your breaths when panic made them jagged. I steadied your hands when they trembled as you buttoned your shirt and pretended you were fine. I listened to the prayer that never made it into words. I never left you. Not for a second. You are not unseen. Your private pain has been fully witnessed, fully understood, and you do not have to hold it alone tonight. Let me be the one who holds together what you fear will fall apart if you loosen your grip. Let your shoulders drop. Let your breath deepen. You are safe to release the night watch to me. I will keep what you cannot while you rest where you have not. My child, now that you are still with me, let me put words to what has been tugging at your chest and trailing you from one day into the next. What is the burden you are carrying that keeps leaking into your purpose and stealing tomorrow's strength before tomorrow even begins? You feel it, don't you? The way your mind wakes up tired, the way your heart braces before your feet touch the floor, the way joy feels like it's hiding behind a fog you can't quite clear. This is the burden, tomorrow's breakthrough being dragged by yesterday's pain. Not your purpose failing. Your purpose is intact, alive, appointed. Your strength is being taxed by a weight that was never meant to cross the midnight line with you. When you carry that weight, it distorts your vision. It steals your focus with rehearsals of what went wrong. It dulls your discernment by turning every new moment into an old wound. It makes you scan rooms for danger instead of scanning heaven for direction. It makes you answer questions I didn't even ask and fight battles I already handled. You wake already depleted because the night became a hallway where you dragged the past into the morning, and you called it preparation. You called it responsibility, but it was exhaustion in disguise. Hear me. What is coming requires alertness, not emotional fog. It requires presence, not panic. It requires a rested spirit that can recognize my whisper when opportunities knock softly. I am not accusing you for feeling what you feel. I am diagnosing what has been draining you so you can lay it down. If you try to build tomorrow with hands clutching yesterday, your grip will shake and your judgment will blur. You will mistake safe doors for threats and threats for necessities. You will call weariness wisdom and fear discernment. You will say, I'm just being careful, when you are actually being cornered by pain. I will not let that be your portion. I aligned this minute to clear the air around you, to unmix what has been mixed, to separate the day you are entering from the day that already ended. So let me name what has been hitching a ride into your sleep. For many of my children, it wears 3 familiar faces. Unforgiveness, the kind you renamed protection because holding it felt safer than healing. Anxiety, the late-night planner that keeps you preparing at 2 a.m. while draining the strength you need for 9 a.m. Control, the careful cage you built so you wouldn't be hurt again. A cage that now locks you out of peace. Do you feel yourself in one of these? Do you feel pieces of yourself in all 3? It is all right to recognize it. Recognition is the doorway to release. Stay with me, step by step. I will guide you through each one, gently but firmly, because I refuse to watch you carry into tomorrow what was meant to be surrendered tonight. You do not have to figure this out alone. You only have to agree to open your hand when I ask. I will show you how to forgive without approving what happened. I will teach you to release outcomes so rest can return. I will lead you to surrender control so peace can keep watch. And when we are finished, you will sleep without weight and wake in alignment, clear-eyed, steady-hearted, ready to meet the morning I prepared with your name on it. My child, first, the unforgiveness you have been calling protection. You picked it up like a shield when the blow landed, when the promise broke, when the door closed on your face and someone you trusted walked away while you still held the pieces. You told your heart, never again, and you held that vow like armor. I understand why. Betrayal cut deep. Abandonment felt like being left in a storm with no coat. Disrespect burned. Being overlooked hollowed you out. Being used made you feel disposable. Being blamed twisted your story until you could barely recognize yourself. I saw all of it, every word, every silence, every moment you swallowed because you did not have the strength to argue. I did not call you weak for building a shield. I called you brave for surviving. But hear me with tenderness and truth. The shield you lifted to stay safe has grown heavy, and without noticing, you fixed it to your wrist like a chain. Unforgiveness feels like safety because it promises to keep you from being hurt again. But it also keeps you from being free again. It keeps you circling the same moment at midnight, reviewing the evidence, rewriting the speech, replaying the scene, arguing in the courtroom of your own chest until your pulse is a gavel. That inner trial is stealing your sleep. It is dulling your hearing. It is making my whisper sound far away, because the noise of their name is always on the stand. Not because I demand you excuse them. Hear me, because I refuse to let their harm own your tomorrow. I will not let what wounded you become the weight that drags your purpose through the night. So come with me now, gently but completely. Breathe in, slowly, let your shoulders drop. In your mind, walk with me into that inner courtroom where you have been both judge and witness, and defense and prosecution. See the bench where you sat night after night. See the stack of evidence you kept close, the words, the messages, the dates, the looks, the moments you wished you could undo. Now, my beloved child, step down. Place the gavel in my hand. Return the verdict and the vengeance to me. You were never asked to carry them. Whisper with me, even if your voice trembles. I release you from my judgment. I release you from my need to make you pay. I hand this case to God. I choose my peace over my proof. This is not approving what they did. This is not pretending it didn't scar you. This is you cutting the chains so you can walk. This is you unhooking their name from your night. Forgiveness is your freedom, your boundary, your clarity. It turns the shield you welded to your wrist back into a choice you can lay down. Let me unfasten it now. Feel how light returns to your chest when you stop guarding the past and start guarding your peace. Feel how your breath deepens when the trial adjourns. Hear how silence grows friendly when the replay stops. Tonight, you do not lose anything by laying this down. You gain rest. You gain strength. You gain room for joy to come back without asking permission from pain. And when the memory tries to knock again, you will answer differently. The case is no longer with me. It is with God. I reclaim my sleep. I reclaim my morning. I reclaim my purpose. Stay with me. This door is open now. And as you step through it, we will meet the next noise, the anxious planning that returns when the room is quiet. I will teach you how to let that go too, so peace can stand guard while you rest. My child, now we meet the noise that visits when the lights are low and the house is quiet, the anxious preparing that dresses up as wisdom at 2 a.m. I saw you try to fall asleep and your mind started running like it was being chased. You lay down, but you do not really lie down. You rehearse conversations that have not happened. You catastrophize outcomes that are not here. You reach for your phone in the dark, checking the time, checking the message, checking the email, checking for the buzz you're braced to hear as if your screen could keep you safe. You listen for footsteps that never come, for alarms that don't sound, for problems that your heart already solved 6 different ways before morning. I saw you scanning the ceiling for patterns, scrolling your memory for what you might have missed, policing your tone in a message you already sent, rereading the last words from someone and trying to decode the silence between their lines. I saw you dress fear in the language of diligence. I'm just being thorough, I'm just staying ready. While your body asks for rest and your soul stands at attention, like a guard who has forgotten she can clock out. I do not shame you for it. I know why you learned to brace. I know how being surprised by pain made you believe that vigilance is the only way to keep it from happening again. But hear me. Anxiety has been convincing you to carry outcomes you were never assigned to control. It hands you tomorrow's steering wheel and tells you to drive from your bed. It asks you to engineer other people's choices, manage invisible timelines, and solve storms I never asked you to forecast. Vigilance is not vision. Worry is not wisdom. Exhaustion is not excellence. Your calling is not to hold the whole world up with tense shoulders. Your calling is to trust the one who holds you while you sleep. So let me cover you with truth that cuts through the lie. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not running out of time. No door I prepared will open faster because you paced the floor. No promise I marked for you will arrive later because you rested. I have lined up answers in ways you still cannot imagine, and none of them require your midnight panic to be delivered. I am working in the dark. I am arranging while you sleep. Now breathe with me. Slowly in, like you are receiving peace. Hold for a gentle moment, like you are letting calm settle. Slowly out, longer than your inhale, like you are releasing outcomes you were never meant to grip. Unclench your jaw, drop your shoulders, let your tongue soften from the roof of your mouth. Open your hands where you are, palms up, a symbol and a choice. Place into my hands the meeting, the bill, the diagnosis, the deadline, the relationship, the apology, the unknown. Whisper with me, out loud if you can. I release outcomes. I keep obedience. I rest in your keeping. Replace the old script now. Where your mind says, what if it goes wrong? Answer with, even if I can't see it, heaven is arranging it. Say it again until your breath starts to believe it. Let tonight be a sanctuary, not a strategy meeting. 2 a.m. is not your boardroom. It is your bedroom. The night is not for decisions. It is for deposits. Strength placed back into you while you let me keep watch. I will guard what concerns you. I will hold what would try to hold you hostage. Rest is not you dropping the ball. Rest is you placing the ball in my hands. Anxiety is not your calling. Tonight you release outcomes so you can rest and be strong for what's coming. And as your breathing finds its rhythm and your thoughts grow quiet, notice this. Beneath anxiety's chatter is a deeper root that keeps reaching for the wheel. We will go there next. We will touch the center of that grip, control, and I will teach your hands how to open without fear. I am here. I am not leaving. Sleep under my watch. My child, here we are at the root, the place where your hands keep reaching for the wheel because life taught you that letting go meant getting hurt. Disappointment taught you to grip. Loss taught you to manage. Betrayal taught you to monitor. You began to count and plan and preempt, not because you love control, but because control promised it could keep you from feeling that ache again. Hear me. You were not faithless. You were protecting yourself the only way you knew how. You were building a shelter from storms you barely survived. I honor the one who learned to brace. I honor the one who did what they had to do to keep breathing. But listen with your heart open and your shoulders soft. The shelter became a cage. The vigilance became a vigil you never ended. Control is clever. It dresses like wisdom. It says be thorough, be careful, be certain, while it slowly steals your rest, narrows your world, and makes you think that safety is the same as peace. You check and then you recheck. You plan and then you plan the backup plan. You rehearse what they might say and how you will answer and where you will stand so nothing can surprise you. I know, I saw it, and I am not here to pry your fingers open with shame. I am here to hold your hands while they learn a new way to open. So hear my ask now, gently and firmly. Give me the wheel, not because I want you powerless, but because I want you peaceful, and peace requires surrender. Control cannot carry you into your next season. Surrender is the bridge that lets you sleep in peace and wake in alignment. What I am bringing will not be built by bracing. It will be recognized by rest. And the one who rests in me can move when I move, turn when I turn, and pause when I pause without fear of missing out. Let me tell you what control has been doing to your purpose. It narrows your vision until you only trust the route you can map, so you miss my divine detours that look like inconvenience but lead to provision. It drains your creativity because creativity needs air and control holds its breath. It delays your obedience through over-analysis. You ask for a 10th confirmation after I already cleared your path, and you won't take step 1 until you can see step 10. You call it stewardship when it's really stalling. You call it excellence when it's really exhaustion in a nicer outfit. I will not let that be your rhythm anymore. Now, right here, with your hands open, we practice surrender. Place into my hands your timelines. Every deadline you circled, every countdown you watched like a guard. Whisper, I release the timelines. I trust your timing. Place into my hands your methods, the exact way you decided this must unfold. Whisper, I release the method. I trust your wisdom. Place into my hands your need for human approval, the curated image, the careful explanations, the compulsion to be understood before you move. Whisper, I release the need to be approved. I trust your covering. Give me the calendar, the script, the metrics you use to feel safe. Let me be the keeper of results, while you become the keeper of obedience. And hear me about those doors that did not open when you knocked with your best plan. They were not punishments, they were protections. I did not withhold good from you, I withheld harm from you. I closed paths that would have cut your feet. I redirected you from rooms where your voice would have been muted and your purpose diluted. I paused what you wanted to rush because the timing you chose would have emptied you instead of established you. Breathe in this truth like medicine. I have been guarding your future, even when it looked like I was frustrating your present. My child, say this with me until your chest believes it. I trade control for covering. I trade tension for trust. I trade certainty for clarity in season. I surrender outcomes, timelines, methods, and the need to be approved. I choose peace over proof. Let your shoulders drop. Let your breath lengthen. Feel how the night softens when you stop gripping and start receiving. The story of your delays, your closed doors, your confusion, it is about to look different in my light. Stay with me. I will show you how every seeming stop was my hand over your heart, keeping you from what would have taken more than it ever gave. For now, rest in the safety of surrender, and let peace keep watch where control used to stand. My child, lean closer. Let me speak plainly about the moments that unraveled and the doors that would not open no matter how carefully you knocked. You wondered why it didn't work, why it fell apart, why they left. why the opportunity dried up, why the path that looked so right suddenly narrowed into a no. You replayed the conversations, questioned your discernment, asked if you misheard me, if you moved too soon, if you waited too long. You asked if I was withholding, if you were being punished. Hear me now with a steadying truth. None of it was punishment. Every bit of it was protection. I protected your purpose from bargains that would have cost your peace. I shielded your name from rooms where your integrity would have been bartered for access. I kept you from premature attachment, tying your heart to a timeline that could not carry your calling, connecting you to hands that would have celebrated you in public and diluted you in private. I saw what you could not see, the conversations after you left the room, the pressure behind the promise, the small print under the headline. I heard what was said when you weren't in the meeting. I weighed the hidden costs, the unspoken expectations, the drift it would cause inside you, and I stepped between you and a future that would have smiled at you while it slowly hollowed you out. Do you feel the ache of it still? You are allowed to. Grieve what you thought it would be. Grieve the picture you painted and the joy you rehearsed. I am not asking you to pretend it didn't sting. I am asking you to rename it. Stop calling it failure. Stop calling it rejection. Call it what it was. A hand over your heart, a rerouting of your steps, a lock on a door that led to a costly compromise. Heaven redirected your traffic. I slowed signatures you begged to speed up. I hid your application from the wrong eyes and highlighted your name to the right ones at the right time. I delayed a message so your spirit could heal before you answered. I let a meeting be canceled so the pressure to say yes would lift off your chest. I protected you, even from the version of you that was tired of waiting. Listen, when you stop fighting the past, your body stops bracing for it at night. When you stop calling protection a delay, your nervous system can finally settle. Your jaw releases. Your breath unfurls. Your mind no longer has to argue its case until sunrise. Rest becomes possible not because everything makes sense, but because you trust that even what you do not understand has been filtered through my care. Breathe with me now. In, receiving this truth. Out, releasing the accusation against yourself and against me. Whisper, it was protection. It was protection. It was protection. Let that sentence become a blanket over your thoughts. Let it smooth the noise of if only and maybe I should have and what if I pushed harder. You did not miss your life. You did not ruin your future. I have been guarding it, and know this. With burdens released and delays reframed, expectancy can rise in you without panic. Hope can stand in you without hurry. What is next is near. Sleep tonight is not escape. It is preparation. Lay down not as one who lost, but as one being positioned. Morning will ask for your clarity, your discernment, your strength, all of which grow in the soil of trust. Rest under my watch. Wake ready. My child, lean in for one more minute. Something you have been praying for is close, closer than you realize, closer than your fear estimates, closer than your timeline predicts. Stop right here. Don't rush. Don't scroll. Don't slip back into noise. I am stepping into this moment to guard your attention, because if you drift back into the old night watch, you may wake under the same heaviness and walk past what bears your name, not because you're unworthy, not because I am hiding it, but because distraction blinds the eyes of the heart. Hear me. Distraction is the enemy tonight. Rushing will make you miss it. Scrolling will numb you to it. Rehearsing will cloud you from it. Going to bed with yesterday's noise humming in your chest will blur tomorrow's signal. I am not scolding you. I am safeguarding you. I aligned this pause so you don't rise into a day prepared for you with a mind still crowded by what I asked you to lay down. Let me tell you what close can look like so you recognize it when it arrives. It can be a conversation in a hallway that seems ordinary until peace covers you mid-sentence. It can be a phone call you weren't expecting that carries a simple yes. It can be a sudden quiet in your spirit, the kind of stillness that replaces the buzzing ache and gives you courage to move. It can be a new idea whispered while you make coffee, the kind you could have missed if your thoughts were shouting. It can be an open door, an email, a message, a small invitation that unlocks a larger room. It can be a quiet instruction, turn here, wait now, reach out, release that reroutes you to what I aligned. It can look so normal you will call it coincidence unless your heart is awake enough to call it care. You must be awake for it, present, aligned enough to receive it. Presence is not performance. It is attention turned toward me. Alignment is not striving, it is surrender settled into rest. Tonight's rest is not escape, it is strategy. Rest is how your clarity returns, how your discernment sharpens, how your strength refills so you can lift what I am handing you without shaking. If you rise foggy, you will call provision a distraction because it didn't look like pressure. If you rise braced, you will walk past peace because it didn't feel like a fight. I love you too much to let that happen. So here is how we prepare. Put the phone face down. Dim the light. Let your breath slow until your ribs remember they are not a cage. Put your hand over your heart and whisper, I will not miss what has my name on it. I receive clarity in the morning. I choose presence over panic. I choose rest over rehearsing. Give me your minutes and I will multiply your strength. Give me your night, and I will order your steps at first light. I bless your sleep now. Let peace cover your nervous system like a soft, warm blanket. Let your thoughts settle into still water. Let your dreams be kept clean from fear. Let your body be held in safety. Let your inner ear be tuned to my whisper. I will keep watch. I will line up what needs to meet you and remove what would try to drain you. Lay down, beloved. The next page is ready, and your name is on it. Rest under my care, and when morning comes, you will know where to place your foot, what to say yes to, what to release, and how to move with me. Peace to your room, peace to your breath, peace to your heart. Sleep and be made ready. My child, stay with me just one more breath. Let us seal what we have opened. Tonight you forgave. Not to excuse what hurt you, but to unhook your heart from their weight. Tonight you surrendered anxiety, not to become careless, but to let me keep what you cannot control while you sleep. Tonight you laid down control, not to be powerless, but to live under my covering with the peace that comes only from trust. Forgiveness released, anxiety surrendered, control laid down. This is your night release. Hear me, you are held, you are covered. You are not alone in this room, in this bed, in this night. I am here, close enough to feel your breath settle, close enough to hush the leftover noise, close enough to keep watch while your eyes close. Nothing will sneak past me. Nothing required for your morning will be missing when dawn arrives. I have assigned peace to your doorway, rest to your pillow, and calm to your thoughts. This night is a reset. No more dragging tomorrow's breakthrough behind yesterday's pain. The courtroom has closed. The boardroom has cleared. The control room has gone dark. Sleep is not avoidance. It is restoration. Rest is not you abandoning responsibility. It is you returning responsibility to the only hands big enough to hold it. Let this be the hour your nervous system learns a new story. You are safe, you are seen, you are supplied. Now place your hand over your heart and whisper with me, I release, I receive, I rest. Say it again, slower. I release what is heavy. I receive what is holy. I rest under your care. Breathe in my nearness. Breathe out the last of the tension. If tears come, let them come. That is just the residue leaving. If silence comes, welcome it. That is just peace taking its seat. To seal this moment, make your agreement visible. Write it like a stone of remembrance. I release this burden tonight. Or whisper into the room, God is my safe refuge. Let your own words become a doorway to sleep. And if this word steadied you, help me steady others. Share it forward. Support this mission as you are led, even through a super thanks, so more weary hearts can find the same rest you are finding now. Not because I need it, but because peace multiplies when you pass it on. I bless your body to unwind, your mind to quiet, your spirit to receive instructions in dreams without fear. Angels stand watch. Answers are aligning. Strength is refilling. You lose nothing by laying it down. You gain peace, you gain strength, you gain alignment for your purpose. Close your eyes. Breathe. Let me carry what you can't. Tomorrow will have what you need.